Hi, welcome back to the Oyster Clan. Again, not really sure I want that to be a thing, but oh well. So, today I thought it would be kind of fun to talk about some of my unpopular opinions. And I know this is kind of an old trend, and also a ton of people have done it. So, credits to the people who came up with unpopular opinions. Just as like a quick disclaimer, I don't mean any harm to anyone with these opinions. They are mine, and you know, you guys are free to disagree. You know what? Let's have some fun banter in the comments. But without further ado, let's get started. Oh, by the way, I have a list, so if I'm looking off to the side, that's why. I don't have a lazy eye or something. Actually, I did when I was a baby, but that's a story for another time. Okay, let's get started. So, my first unpopular opinion is that grilled cheese is gross. Now, I know a lot of people just like gasped in horror, but it's not just like grilled cheese, it's cheese on bread. Like, if I'm having a burger, I'm not gonna have a cheeseburger. Or if I'm making a sandwich, I'm not putting cheese on that sandwich. I just, and I don't get it. It's like, it tastes like plastic to me. I don't know why. And I know, oh, that was unladylike. I know a lot of people right now are going to say, but Kylie, what about pizza? And here's the thing, pizza is different because with pizza, you have sauce and you have toppings, and I don't know, like, I like the taste of pizza. It's the one exception. And I also do like melty cheese on other things like pasta, but just grilled cheese, eh. If anyone else agrees with me, please comment down below because I feel like I'm so alone with this and I get so much hate with it when I tell my friends. Um, the second opinion is that TikTok has kind of become toxic and overrated. Now, I know this is also one that people might get mad at me for, but hear me out. So, I do like TikTok, and it's so fun that you'll go on it to watch one video and spend 3 hours watching a gajillion videos. But I've realized that recently the content on TikTok has become a little bit more dark. And I've noticed that there are some people who talk about those things freely. Like, do not let me quench that. But I feel like that kind of content can be so triggering to people that are just scrolling through their For You page. So I feel like TikTok needs to crack down on the kind of content they're allowing. And at the same time, I do feel like it's become kind of repetitive. Like, I definitely do see a lot of creativity, but I don't know, maybe that's just me being annoying because I have all those songs in my head that turn the little button and the car goes boom. It's been in my head for days. Let me know if you guys agree. The third unpopular opinion is that standardized testing is also toxic and unneeded. So I know that a lot of people study so hard for their SATs and ACTs. And while I get that this is a really important test, I feel like it shouldn't be. Because when I took the test and I got the score that I did, I felt so poor about myself. But the thing is, the test is kind of more tailored to math, and like, I'm definitely not a math brain, and I was so happy we didn't have to submit our test scores, and I wish more colleges would do that. I do understand how, if you're going into a STEM major, that it's important to understand those kinds of things and understand math equations, but I do wish And I hope that in the future, more colleges start to become more lax with their test scores. And again, that might just be me being salty because my scores were so low. But you know what? Keep striving, you guys. The fourth unpopular opinion is that I don't like Star Wars. I know, a lot of you guys just left the video. And here's the thing. And about some of you about to get real mad at me, but it must be said. I've never seen a Star Wars movie. I know, how can I hate it if I've never seen it? But, like, space just does not appeal to me. Like, I think it's gorgeous, don't get me wrong, the solar system's so cool, but I don't understand how there's a war that's been going on for this long, and just the idea does not appeal to me. It's just not my cup of tea. Maybe in the future I will watch a movie and change my opinion, but I'll keep you guys posted on that. Fifth? I told you I'm not good at math. Fifth, football on TV is boring. And I stand by this. I do love going to football games because I love the environment, I love being around cheering fans, I love the food, and I think it's a great environment when you're actually at the stadium. But I cannot understand why people enjoy watching football on the TV. I find it so absolutely boring, and I can't pay attention to it. So, I mean, if you can, props to you. I find baseball and basketball on the TV so much more exciting. Moving on, sixth. So bandwagon culture needs to stop. And this is a loaded statement because as humans, we are such monkey see, monkey do people. But I feel like hating someone and then everyone jumping on the bandwagon, specifically in YouTube, needs to stop. Like, I understand when a scandal is going on and it's interesting, but I've never understood, like, jumping on the bandwagon to hate somebody. And that might not be the most eloquent way to put that, but, and I honestly don't think that's an unpopular opinion. I've heard a lot of people say that. But yeah, I think just when there's a scandal going on, I don't really think it's cool to keep sending that person hate, unless if they've done something like, I don't know, like killed their mom, then yeah, go for it. 7, Shane Dawson's content has become boring. I know a lot of people will get mad at me for that one too. Listen, I used to love Shane Dawson. I loved him. I have a t-shirt that says I'll go home on it. I have a pig plushie that I got. However, I feel like recently his content has been gorgeous. Like, he has beautiful editing, very well put together videos, but the content isn't that interesting, and it's really, really repetitive and so over dramatized. And I really do miss his content where he would just sit in his room and talk about, like, dumb conspiracy theories. We loved that. At least I loved that. So sometimes I wish he would just tone it down a little bit, stop over dramatizing situations that don't need to be that dramatized, and just go back to simplicity. Okay, I'm sorry. I think this is number 8. Anyone that can craft or do DIY things, super talented. Like, I don't think people, and this is also stuff that I've seen on TikTok, that's more of like the good creative side. Anyone that can DIY their clothes or craft is so talented. Like, I cannot even cut in a straight line. I genuinely cannot. So I feel like we need to give artists, crafties, whatever, so much more credit, because the stuff that they can create is amazing. And you know what? Props to you guys, because I try as hard as I can, and my projects always end up looking like a second grader. Funny story, one time in second grade, I was I was trying to make a globe, and I think it was my history class, and I got a D because I put too much glue on the globe. That was not a funny story, but there you go. Number 10 is that college in some ways is easier than high school. Now, I know that a lot of people in college will say, like, absolutely not, you have to study so much more. And I do agree with that. I think that in college, you definitely cannot get by on not studying. I mean, you could, but I don't know what the result. In college, you kind of become more of your own person, and you grow so much. So socializing is so much easier in college. And classes are easier too, I feel like, because they're more tailored toward you. Like, I don't have to take a chemistry class in college. I did have to take a science class, but I could choose something that was more tailored to me. Whereas in high school, you have to take classes like physics and chemistry that you just, sometimes you're not that great at. And that really, really hurt my overall GPA in high school, because I'm such a reading, English, writing brain, and 0% the other side. So, number 11 is that this one is getting kind of political. The coronavirus should not involve politics. And I understand, like, it needs to in some aspects. Like, this needs to go to the government and the president. But I feel like it's become such a political issue that we're focusing less on the virus itself and more on the political implications of it. And for that reason, the fight against the coronavirus has lost a little bit of its humanity, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't want to look back and say this became such a political issue, but how can you make a virus a political issue? I don't know. I don't think I really said that well, but let me know if you guys agree with me. And then finally, I actually like Radio Rebel. I know there are so many memes going around of Debbie Ryan right now going, I'm Radio Rebel. I love that movie so much. There's one line in it where I don't even know the character's name, but he goes, one time I swallowed a magnet, and now I'm scared that every time I stand in front of my oven, I'm going to be sucked into it, or something along those lines. I die. It's so funny. You guys need to watch Radio Rebel again. It's like, give it some slack. We love Debbie Ryan here. Okay, that being said, I am off. I have so many more opinions like this, so if you guys want me to share more, do a part 2, comment, like, subscribe. Yeah. That being said, goodbye.